Welcome everybody. I'm Denise Johnson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Bedford, New Hampshire. Today I have 3 cards that I'd like to share with you using the Zany Zebra's stamp set from the new annual catalog. I'm doing my Facebook Live a little bit later today. I normally like to do it at 1 o'clock Eastern time on Mondays, but I went to have my hair done this morning, and during this pandemic, I think we all know that when you get a hair appointment, you go get your hair done. Tomorrow is my 5-year Stampin' Up! Anniversary, so I've been a demonstrator for 5 years. I started doing it just to get the discount. I never thought I would be doing classes or Facebook Lives or blogging, but I am now doing all of that and I love it. I love what I do. I love stamping. I love sharing creativity with other people. So if you're interested in joining just for the discount, you don't have to do what I do. It's a great way to get products at a lower price. If you're spending $100 a month, if your wish list is about $300 a quarter, then it's definitely worth becoming a demonstrator. So let's see. So tomorrow's my 5-year Stampin' Up! Anniversary, and today is actually my 29th wedding anniversary. So the weather here is kind of iffy. We're getting some rain, which we desperately need. So I don't know if we're going to make it out or not, because I'm only willing to eat outside. I'm not willing yet to go inside to eat. So I'm going to turn my camera around here, and we're going to get started with making some cards. I'm going to cover my... Make sure you're all lined up. Okay. Oh, this is the cover of our new holiday catalog, which for demonstrators, we are allowed to see the catalog online. It does not go live for customers until August 4th, I believe, is the date that customers can see it. So this is just the front page of the catalog. That's all I'm allowed to show you. And as a demonstrator, I'm allowed to order from this catalog starting on Wednesday. So, you know, we're in the midst of a heat wave here, and I'm feeling like I'm not quite ready for snow and winter, but it is time to start planning those holiday cards. So I got a few other housekeeping things here. As I talked about becoming a demonstrator, we are still offering the Pick a Free Bundle promotion, which actually ends tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, you have one more day to think about it. I feel like my screen is blocked. No, I think I'm okay. The other promotion currently going on, if you place an order for $250, you get an extra $25 in Stampin' Rewards. And then Stampin' Up! Also has a monthly subscription creativity kit. Sometimes it's cards, sometimes it's projects or gift bags. In July, they're having 9 postcard type cards with envelopes, and then also 9 tea light bags. So I'm really excited about these tea light bags. I think those are going to be awful fun. So if you're interested in that, there will be a link in the description of this at the end of in the description of the video. So let's get started. This is the stamp set we're going to use, the Zany Zebras. I just really love these little zebras. I think they're so fun. They'd be perfect for kids' parties, kids' cards. And so this is the first card we're going to make using this. It's a birthday card. And this uses the Misty Moonlight cardstock, Whisper White cardstock, the In Color Designer Series paper. These are the stitch-shaped circles. So, let me get my supplies. So these are all the colors and patterns that you get with the 2020 In Color Designer Series paper. So as I said, this is our card base. It's in Misty Moonlight. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I score it at 4 1/4. Fold it in half. And then I have a Whisper White layer. That's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And again, all of these measurements will be in the description when the video finishes. I have a piece of the Bumblebee. This is 4 1/2 by 2 inches. I have a piece of the Designer Series paper, 4 1/2 by 1 1/2 inches. And then I cut out a circle with the Stitched Shapes framelit. Stitched Shapes dies, sorry. So that I put mine on a magnetic board. It's just easier for me to organize them. So this is what you have. You have circles, you have squares, and you have ovals. So what I'm going to do is stamp my zebra in the Misty Moonlight ink on my circle. Try and center him right there. And then I'm going to take my Whisper White layer to do my sentiment. I'm going to do the happy birthday. So actually first there's a little party hat. I'm going to stamp that down here in the corner. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And then I'm going to put a party hat on the other side. There we go. Now we're going to start layering this. So I'm going to do I'm actually going to put my Designer Series paper on my Bumblebee cardstock first. Me and this Stampin' Seal are not having a very good relationship. I always have a hard time starting. Once it starts, it goes fine, but the initial start on it seems to get me every time. So I'm going to layer this on this. And then I want to attach this at an angle. So I'm going to match up my corner down here and then the other corner up here so it goes on at an angle. And then, as you can see, I just need to trim it on the back side. Like that. And then then I have a ribbon. So the ribbon I used is the Bumblebee Gingham ribbon. And I have pre-tied my bow because sometimes I struggle with this, doing this live on camera. And I'm going to put that in the middle here, and then I use tape to attach it. Some people use glue dots. I like the tape. I think it keeps it more secure and it won't shift or move. Now I can attach this to my card base. Right here. And I'm going to use dimensionals to attach my zebra, and I didn't bring them to my desk, so let me grab them. I think 3 dimensional should be good. And there we go, we can just attach him on here. I just love these zebras. I think they're so fun. There you go. That card was very quick, easy, and fast. So, let me set those aside so I can find them at the end of my video. I am going to clean my stamp set now because I'm going to need to reuse this one. I use the Stampin' Chamois that you just add water to them. They're reusable. I just use them for a couple of days and then I rinse them out and keep them wet. Store them in the plastic box. It's like a stamp case. And it does a good job, I think, of keeping the stamps clean. Okay, our next card is going to be this nice and bright cheery card. This again, I'm using those stitched shaped circles on, and then the same designer series paper in the other colors, Magenta Madness, Just Jade, and Bumblebee. So let me get all my card pieces out for that. I have my card base, again, 8.5 by 5.5. I scored at 4 1/4. I have a Whisper White layer, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I just cut various circles using those stitch shapes. I have my big circle, which is going to be for my zebra. I have a smaller circle for my sentiment. And then I'm also using the classic label punch to punch out another sentiment. So let's get started with this. So there's no rhyme or reason. I'm gonna just attach these circles wherever it looks best. Maybe, you know what? I am gonna stamp first. Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll start layering everything. So the sentiment says kick up your heels. So I have this zebra who looks like he's kicking out behind him. And this I'm going to do in the Memento black ink. Again, I'm going to center this a little bit more to my right side. And then I have those little stars to put out behind his hooves here. There we go. And then my sentiment, it's time to celebrate. And then the kick up your heels. I'm doing this on a piece of scrap paper. And then I will use this classic label punch to punch that out. There we go. So now we can just start layering this all on. Oh, I should put that ink away before I make a mess everywhere. Oh, and I did color in my zebra. Here I used the Just Jade marker, but I think on this one that I'm making now, I want to use my Magenta Madness. And so all I'm going to do is kind of quickly bring some color in by tracing over his stripes. And then adding some color to his hair. Is it hair? Does a zebra have hair? I don't know, but his tail. There we go. Let's see. Just gonna start layering my circles on here. I guess I'm sort of copying the first card I did, so. So you can really use any designer series paper, any colors that you have on hand. These are just really nice and bright. And I like all the way the new colors all coordinate with each other. Is that a lot of pink? Okay, if somebody has a tip for this Stampin' Seal, I watched the video at Stampin' Up, and it looked a lot easier, I guess, than I seem to be making it. So here we go. We're gonna put our zebra. We're using dimensionals again. Pop him up. Maybe one more in the middle so it doesn't sag in the middle. Put him in the middle there. Pop up my sentiments. Maybe that one looks too big. We have mini dimensionals as well. So they're a little bit smaller, so these are better to use for those smaller sentiments. So it's time to celebrate. Let's stick that right there and then kick up your heels. There we go. And then I'm going to attach that to my card base. And that is another fun, bright card using that zebra, Zany Zebras. There, now that Stampin' Seal worked pretty good that time. I didn't seem to... Once I got it started, it seemed to flow very nicely. It is a good, oh, so sorry. It is a good seal. So there we go. So this one I did in the Just Jade, and this one I did in the Magenta Madness. So you can pick what colors you like. And that's the second card. Oh, you know what I forgot? Is my cards, you gotta add some sparkle. So this first card, I used the In Color Enamel dots and added some of the Misty Moonlight dots. Let's see. We can add these randomly on here. There we go. That finishes the card. And then on this Kick Up Your Heels, I used these. They have frosted and clear epoxy drops. So on this one, I don't know if you can see the difference in the video. These are the clear ones and these ones are frosted. So I did the frosted ones. So we're just gonna see if we can... So this is the Take Your Pick tool, and it has a little bit of putty on one end, which helps pick these up and stick them on your projects. I seem to be having a problem with that. Sometimes I use the other side. There we go. There, so now we have a little bit of sparkle on those cards. We're going to put these aside because I'm going to use the clear ones on my last card. So the last card uses all three zebras from the set, and it says Wild About You. And this uses our rainbow glitter paper, which is 12 by 12, and a full sheet looks like this, which is a lot. So as you can see on this card, if you trim it down, you just get a nice subtle color variations. So let's get going on this card. So what I used is a card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I have a Whisper White layer that is 5 by 2 3/4. And then I cut the Glimmer paper into 5 by 3 inches. So as you can see, the first card I did, I used more of this green blue. And then on the second card, I'm using more of this blue into the purple color. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment first in the bottom corner. Here's my ink. I'm using the Memento black ink again on this. Stamping the sentiment right on the card base. And then we will stamp the 3 zebras. So they are coming in off the page. So I think actually what I want to do is stamp my center one first. So put him there. And I'll bring this one in. And then my third one on the other side. There we go. And then there's a little, I think it's a shadow you put underneath their legs here. So that's what I'm going to do. This one's sort of jumping, so he's going to come down a little bit lower. And then the other two I'm going to try and put right underneath their hooves. And then to add some color to them, I used our watercolor pencils. So we have 2 sets. This is the original watercolor pencils, and 13. There's white in there as well. And then there's a watercolor pencils assortment number 2 that has 10, I think it has 10 more of colors. Yes, 10 other colors. So because the Glimmer paper that I'm using has more purples and blues, I think that's what I'm going to use for my zebras on this one. The first card I did the orange, the Granny Apple Green, and Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to try to match these a little bit closer to the paper I'm using. That's a Night of Navy. Looking maybe for that purple color. Here's a purple. So let's see. I'm going to do the Bermuda Bay, the Pacific Point, and the Gorgeous Grape. And then just color in the lines again. So my office window here looks right out into our backyard, and the sky keeps getting dark and light and dark and light, and we desperately need some rain here. We did have a storm last night, but I keep waiting for a nice big storm to come through and bring us the rain that we desperately need. It just sort of keeps spitting a little bit of rain, but not enough. My grass is turning brown. I'm like watering my flowers daily, getting buckets of water. And so I'm just quickly going over, just adding color to where the lines are on the card. It brings some brightness and cheeriness in. And there we go. So let's get this card put together. I have my card base. We're going to add our Glimmer paper. The nice thing about this Glimmer paper is it does not shed. You're not going to end up, if you use this, you're not going to end up with glittery pieces all over you, all over your desk, your work surface, things you're working in. When my daughter went to her prom, she wore this dress that had silver glitter all over it. And when they came home, her and her boyfriend came home after the prom, he was covered in glitter. That was funny. He did not appreciate that. Okay, so I smudged that a little bit. But we're gonna just go with it. So as you see, I put my Glimmer paper on at a little angle. I put the top layer on at a little angle. And then we are going to add in our epoxy dots here, the clear ones. I think I need a new one of these putty refills. I think I'm running out and it's getting a little old. There we go, so that worked that time. So as you can see, just depending on which part of the Glimmer paper I used, I just changed the colors up and it gives it a little bit of a different look. So if you'd like to place an order, my June host code is right here. If you comment or share my video, I'm going to put you in for a raffle prize. Last week, Beverly McGuire commented and shared, and so I have a prize to send to Beverly. If she private messages me her address, this will be going in the mail to her as soon as I get that from her. And then you can like my Facebook business page, my YouTube channel, Stamp Designs with Denise, or subscribe to my blog, which is also at stampdesignswithdenise.net. And these are, I hope you like this stamp set as much. These are our Zany Zebras that we made today. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go today.